Ah, who doesn't enjoy sitting back, relaxing, and going berserk on some ducks, all for a deity in the form of a dog, to mock you for each of your failures, and eventually remove you from existence once you fail to satisfy his hunger. Wait a minute. This game is rated E. That must mean the ducks that you shoot don't actually die. How could this happen? Oh, what's up guys, and bringing you the hottest games from 1985. Yeah! Duck Hunt is one of those magical games that you need to play to actually see how fun it is. But before we get into the game, let's talk about how Duck Hunt came into existence and became the second best-selling game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Most would think that Duck Hunt came out when the NES did, but the fact is that Duck Hunt came out way before the NES was even thought of. Duck Hunt came out when Nintendo was still primarily a toy company, and Duck Hunt was a toy they released in the mid-1970s. It used a light gun, along with a projector, to simulate a similar game layout to the electronic version of the game. The projector would project ducks onto a wall, and using the light gun, you would point it at the illuminated ducks and pull the trigger to shoot them down. This version of the game was also extremely bare compared to the NES release of the game, as the ducks were the only thing projected. No trees or scenery were projected along with the ducks. Even the dog, was not projected in this version of the game. This line of light gun toys was eventually brought over to the Famicom, the Japanese version of the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was brought over for the game Wild Gunman, which was from the same toy line as Duck Hunt. The Famicom Zapper looked much more different than the American version, as the Japanese version had a much more realistic look, resembling a real-life revolver, compared to the Americans' much more futuristic look. I'm sure Western parents were happy that their children wouldn't be playing with pistols at a young age, but in the good old US of A, the good old Second Amendment would have been more than happy to let it go. Both Wild Gunman and Duck Hunt would come out during the February and April of 1984 respectively. Duck Hunt would launch over a year later in America during the October of 1985 in a bundle including Gyromite and the Zapper. Gyromite was later swapped out for the iconic Super Mario Bros. Once you load up Duck Hunt, the menu is very simple, showing game modes A, B, and C along with the high score. The three game modes are 1 duck, 2 ducks, and PETA mode. Game modes A and B are relatively the same when it comes to the rules. You have 3 bullets to shoot all the ducks that appear. There are 3 to 5 matches, or seasons if you will. There is a black box at the bottom of the screen with 10 outlines of ducks, and they fill in for each duck you shoot down. A blue gauge is located under the ducks, showing the minimum amount of ducks needed to be shot down, otherwise the game ends. After each season, the iconic figure of the dog, would either show the duck that you were able to catch, or laugh at you if you failed to hit anything. Imagine a world we lived in where we didn't have to take the dog's ridicule and just shoot him to get him out of our way. Wait a minute, that is a world we live in, and we can shoot the dog, and if we do shoot the dog, he comes and murders our entire family! That's not very family friendly. In Game Mode A, you can have a second player control the ducks, meaning that the dog won't be the only one laughing at you when you inevitably miss your shots. Come on! Come on! Come on! Dang it! I missed it by 1! I missed it! No! Dang it! Lol, you suck. Well, I'll have you know that this isn't the only weapon I have! Ow! It's just a game, bro. It's just a game. Mode C of the game has you shooting clay pigeons instead of animals in cold blood. This game mode is similar to the other two, with the only real difference being that the movement of the targets is more consistent. The scoring system for points is very simple. In modes A and B, there are 3 different colored ducks, scoring higher from black to blue to red, being worth the most, with their values being 500, 1000, and 1500 respectively. From rounds 6 to 10, their point values increase by 60%, and from rounds 11 to 99 go to double their original value. The bonus, where you hit all 10 ducks, starts at 10,000 and also increases after round 10 until it reaches 3,000 points at round 21. The value of clay pigeons is 1,000 and goes up by 500 after the 5th and 10th matches until a score of 2,000. The bonus for shooting all the targets is the same as the other game modes. As the dog's appetite for meat to feast on grows, the amount of targets needed to progress in the game also increases. From rounds 11 to 19, the number goes from 6 hits to a perfect 10.
The dog expects perfection from us.
Playing the game is really simple. It's shooting the target. That's it. It's meant to be that simple, so anyone can understand how to play the game. This sort of marketing was also probably an influence for the Wii and its games. It is progression based, so players keep moving on to harder rounds as they progress, and you are only aiming for a high score like most arcade games were at the time. Duck Hunt, as of right now, is the 19th best-selling game of all time, so quite a bit of people have played it. Aside from its NES release, Duck Hunt Versus was a game that came out in 1984 in arcades. Duck Hunt also came out on Nintendo's Play Choice 10 arcade machines. The game also launched on the Wii U's Virtual Console in Japan on Christmas Eve of 2014 and the next day on Christmas Day internationally. This is the version of the game that I have, and it is much easier to use as the Wii Remote needed to play the game doesn't need a CRT TV to work like the NES Zapper, and it's also much easier to capture gameplay from the Wii U's native HDMI output for my capture card. This is probably, if not, the only way to experience the game without the original hardware needed for the NES. Even with Duck Hunt's massive success, it hasn't had too much of an appearance outside of its own company. The dog from Duck Hunt appeared in the movie Pixels and stayed with an old woman. I know, fascinating, right? The VR game Duck Season is partly based on Duck Hunt, but fair warning, it is a horror game and has some graphic and intense scenes in it. Nintendo has made some references to the game's characters and its mechanics, such as in Wii Play and Wii Play Motion in some of their minigames. Duck Hunt's most famous appearance is probably in Super Smash Bros. The dog and the duck team up to become a single playable character. He first appeared in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, and reappeared along with every other fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He utilizes attacks relating to the NES Zapper, Wild Gunman, and another NES Zapper game called Hogan's Valley. As the most sold shooter in the world, creator Masahiro Sakurai said it was one of the primary reasons for the character's inclusion. With the character's inclusion, the duo also got its own amiibo, released in the 6th wave during the September of 2015. Funny thing I just found out. Apparently, the Lucario amiibo was a Toys R Us exclusive, but I bought mine at EB Games. If you don't know what EB Games is, it's the Canadian version of GameStop. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to Duck Hunt. These days, Duck Hunt doesn't get much attention aside from Smash Bros. But we can see that Duck Hunt and its game mechanics have inspired many games and even consoles to think outside the box. The game is still really fun, and will probably give many nostalgia from the good old days. It may even bring back some good memories that you've had, maybe some bad, that would have otherwise been forgotten with time. All I can say is that this has been a blast of the past that I have never lived in. Goodbye.